of Youth Arena on Oxygen FM, where we inform, inspire, and ignite our listeners. This is a program shaped for everyone with more attention to a number of things determined by the day's topic. So, sit comfortably and be ready to learn new things. My whole name is SEYIFUNMI, AKINSANYA, and I also have with me in the studio today.
My name is Samuel Ademola, aka Damon.
Alright, Damon, thank you for joining on today's conversation. Today, we are picking it from where we left it last week, which is financial literacy. Yes, we are still looking at financial literacy. Many people think financial literacy is only for bankers, accountants, or business owners. That isn't true. Every student, graduate, entrepreneur, employee, and even teenagers need to understand money because every decision we make today affects our financial future tomorrow. Well, to do justice to this topic, with me here I have our guest from the previous edition. And our guest is a global business strategist. He's a mentor, public speaker, a music minister. He's an author with the best-selling books. And I'm talking about no other person. I'm talking about Mr. Ojo Ayokunle. Welcome to the program, sir.
Yeah, it's my pleasure to be here. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, Ibadan.
Thank you for joining us on today's edition again.
You're welcome.
I would love to start by asking, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm very well. I'm fine. Yeah.
All right. I mean, I can even tell from the way you look.
What's wrong with
I
you?
can tell from the way you look. Come on, you're more than fine. I mean, you are more than fine. For our listeners, you need to see him. Of course, he is fine. More than fine, sir. So,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, okay. All right. So to start with today's topic, I mean, of course, where we stopped last week, I would love to ask Sir that over this past few days, what would you say you've done differently in your finances?
Over the past few days, I've taken a couple of decisions that are quite tough. Yeah, I changed landscape, as in I changed base, so from Lagos to Ibadan based on instructions and the like. So yeah, I try to understudy the economy, the state of the economy, and with that I could make some possible projections and the like. So what I've done differently from the regular way I usually handle finance is that I run a lot of opportunity cost before I make expenditure, one, and then two, I ensure that I spend on either liabilities that gives me value,
Okay.
right? Because you see, I make expenditures that communicate value to me. Yeah, so that's the word. So, and then as time goes by, we'll continue in the assets column.
All right. So there are actually liability that gives value.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear a few of them.
So part of liabilities that gives value is your transportation, your feeding, your consumables, your what do they call it? Your provisions, yeah, your data, stuffs like that.
All right.
They take money out of your pocket, but in return they communicate value to you.
Of course, they communicate value to you. You've heard it from our guest, and I can bet it with you that we have more from where this came out. So just stay glued to your chair. When the time is set, we'll let you know, and the studio lines to call are 0704 700 3969 or 0704 700 2969. I'll take that again. 0704 700 3969 or 0704 700 2969. We'll go on the short break. We'll be right back.
Hey people, who gets the mic? We do. Where's the vibe?
Youth Arena, shout it out loud, let 'em hear you. Youth Arena.
Thank you for staying glued to Oxygen FM 96.9. And yes, this is the Youth Arena where we inform, inspire, ignite, we learn, unlearn, and of course, we relearn. And yes, to dive into today's program where we are looking at financial literacy, I would love to start with this question. Sir, why do many people earn money but still struggle financially?
All right, so many people earn money and still struggle financially for two major reasons, right?
Okay.
Number one, they don't understand cash flow. Number two, they spend without a budget. Or let me flip the responses, right? Number one, spending without a budget. Number two, understanding cash flow. Cash flow is the number of source of income that comes to your hand, right? All right, so from different sources. All right, so and then spending with a budget is you understanding, spending around or spending with limits, so you will not overspend, right? So that's what budgeting helps you. So the two major reasons why people tend to earn money, they are income rich, that's the word, but cash flow broke is because they spend without a budget and they are still yet to understand cash flow.
Now, talking about cash flow, we're talking about budget. Now, that will lead me to the next question, and I will say, how important is having an emergency fund to you, sir?
All right, so it still boils down to budgeting, because in your budgeting you'll be able to run. Actually, your savings is more like your savings for you is more like an emergency fund, right? Because you see, anything that happens to you financially, what you need to fall back on is your savings. But how do you save when you don't budget to save? Like I said last week, if you plan to save, if you plan not to save, then you have planned
To be saved.
So by another person, and that's if you really have somebody that could
can
save you, right? So so necessarily your savings is very, very important in the scheme of things.
Now, I want to believe for people who do not have savings, and we are talking about emergency, and then we are talking about emergency fund. Now, when this state of emergency arises, those are the people who would eventually be saved by people.
Exactly.
It's safe to say.
Yeah.
Now, at what points or how do we best differentiate between savings and investment?
Okay, so savings is the money you set apart to a next opportunity, while investment is the money you set apart to ensure that it multiplies itself.
Okay.
Two different things, right? So the money you save is meant, you're accumulating it to our next opportunities, but the money you invest, you've seen an opportunity already and you are investing in it for the money to multiply itself.
Don't people also save to invest?
You can save to invest, and you can also invest directly, but what I always advise, educate yourself on whatsoever you're investing before you invest.
Now, we've seen a lot of people jump on this digital investment, so to say, and we've seen a lot of them crash out. What would you say is the problem? Do we say it is financial illiteracy or lack of education, just like you mentioned?
Okay, financial illiteracy, lack of education is almost around the same thing, but most especially the most important thing is that it's a product of the kind of mindset we have, the quality of mindset we have about people today. I wouldn't want to mention some certain kind of scheme that I heard the number of figures they pulled out from the Nigerian economy some years back, I think about a year or 2 years ago. And we are like, this one took my money, that one took my money, right? How would you invest, quote and unquote, in what you don't see that a product, a service, or a solution they are using your investment money for rather? So it's just necessarily because we have that get rich quick scheme mindset.
I mean, isn't that what the state of the nation put us? The state of the economy put
You
us?
see, until you begin to take responsibility for your decisions as a person, then you are not ready to grow. You see, like I said last week, you need to be intentional about ensuring that you build your financial life. The way you take your spiritual life serious,
Intentionality.
the way you take your emotional life serious, I think those are just the two major life that generally people take serious: spiritual and emotional, right? But you need to also understand that finance I posted something this morning. I said your plan without money is plantain.
True.
So you need to understand that in this world, what circulates in the economy is money. What rules the economy is money. So when you now begin to blame the government for you taking wrong decisions about your finances, it is your responsibility. There is an understanding in law that ignorance is not an excuse. You need to understand by books. You want to get rich. How many books have you read? I always tell people, I tell my mentees, I say, at times when I'm having weekly mentorship sessions with them, I'll tell them, I'll say, the number of books of your age, if you have not read it about that area you want to be intentional about, you've not started. So take, for example, you are maybe 20 and you have not read 20 books on finance, you have not started. If you want to build anything relationship, if you have not read 20 books about relationship and you have not started. Let's be factual, because you see, you need different perspectives to ensure that the knowledge, and you see, knowledge is progressive. It evolves.
Yes.
So when you are not up to date, then you don't have the current update. So
Can you say that again?
when you are not up to date, you don't have the current update.
Profound.
So financially, when you are not financially up to date, then you currently don't have the financial update.
All right, sir. Damon, I'm coming to you. Have you been in this kind of situation where you invested in all these digital platforms and then eventually it's crashed, or have you?
Can we even have a case scenario to this? I really want to talk about this.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's have a case scenario to this. What kind of investment platform, digital platform are we looking at here? Because you see, we generalize some certain things.
Okay.
Permit me to make mention. CBEC scheme. I took permission before I mentioned the brand name. So, and pulled out a whole lot of millions. I can't remember the figure now. Is it millions or billions from Nigerians? And the regular me and you, guy to guy, you will tell me you don't have money. But CBEC came with a system.
And you invested.
You invested and you lost money. So it boils down to our mindset. It boils down to our mentality. It boils down to how much we choose to want to learn. Because you see, I always tell people too, there are so many people doing businesses that they are calling themselves CEO, that they are supposed to be intern somewhere. They are supposed to be intern somewhere. Because they lack the prerequisite knowledge for them to run a business. Some people have been running business for ages, for decades, and don't even have a corporate affairs certificate. And when they are doing advice, you see CEO Kinika make over. Something and more.
So what are the prerequisites to being a CEO, actual CEO, if you have to say?
So it's an embodiment of so many things. First thing I always tell people, if you want to start a business, understand a little about everything. From
A touch of this, a touch of that.
from your idea conceptualization to branding, to operations, to finance, to marketing, right? To sales, to HR. You need to understand a whole lot. So you need to have a basic knowledge of everything, because you see, you are the one betting the vision of that business. So how far people will see is how far you are able to cast what you have seen. So people are running a business without a business vision. You don't have a mission.
You have core values.
You don't have core values. So you now, they will bring a event planning gig, you will collect. They will bring Bugbelere gig, you will collect. They will bring maybe stage management, you will collect. They will bring supply us plantain chips, you will collect. Supply us zobo, you will collect. Because necessarily you've not casted a vision. You've not casted a vision for your business. So people are running business, they don't even know the industry their business operating. Because in that same shop, there is maybe, what they call it now? Maybe there's a small salon. Somebody is doing POS. Somebody is doing one. They are doing one popcorn somewhere. You know, that's about 3 industries in one space.
I have like one example that I want to believe will fall under others. I've seen people say, "Oh, this is medicine and maths." Only you are selling drugs, and then you still say, okay, maths. You also have other things that you do alongside that.
Okay, for there are industries that supplement each other. All right, so there are businesses that supplement each other. Take for example this that you mentioned. It supplements, because you see, if I walk in,
I can get this.
I can get this, and I have some household items that I would necessarily need. You also have. So instead of taking that money out,
I will just buy it.
I will still buy.
Or like.
So it's just proper positioning.
That's the word.
So there are businesses that supplement each other. But what I'm trying to say is, you don't do a business, right, with another business that does not supplement. So take for example now, a brand strategist. I consult for sales, marketing, I do advertisement, right? So if I am now at any point telling you that I want to start maybe selling power bank or selling gadgets, does it connect? Yes, I can have activations for clients that operate in that industry, but my modus operandi will be different. If I'm approaching a buyer, I'll tell you, oh, I am approaching you on behalf of my client. So you understand that, oh, I'm a marketing executive. I'm trying to sell to you for my client. So my client bought my service. So you just necessarily need to spell out what you're doing.
Your rules.
Because you see, we just my generation is quite confused. Very, very confused. I say that a lot. Anyway, I find myself. In as much we have the whole ideas, we have the whole advantage, we are still confused. And it's just necessarily because we have not learned the dynamics to build.
Okay, not learning the dynamics to build. Do not forget you are still on to the Youth Arena on Oxygen FM 96.9, the station where we inform you, inspire you, and of course, ignite you. Before we go on this short break, I would love to ask, sir, what is the investment option for a beginner?
So, investment options for a beginner are very, very simple. First, invest in yourself.
Invest in yourself.
Exactly.
What is the best way to simplify that?
So, you need to read books. You need to get mentorship. Because you see, my mistakes can be your own ladder to achieve your own goal faster. You need to learn from people that have been there so that your journey can be short. So you can save yourself years of frustration. You know, I was in a conversation with somebody yesterday, very known artist and entrepreneur in this state, also a youth. You know, we're talking, and he was like, "Papa, you smart though. You just entered your state like that, and you were just going for the gatekeepers." I said, "I learned this from mentorship. You don't enter. There are people that gatekeep information that happens in a territory. There are people that are part of what happens. There are people that make things happen. There are people that watch things happen.
True.
So you need to sort knowledge, understand, ask questions, gain clarity from people that have gone ahead of you, so that you can shorten your error period and also shorten the time it will take you to, you know, achieve your specific goal. So, yeah, mentorship, invest in yourself. Then for starters, you can do stocks, mutual bonds, treasury bills, depending on how your risk appetite is. We have the low risk, we have the medium risk, we have the high risk. So it depends on how well you are willing to let money go. There are people that cannot even release 100 naira, not to talk of overlooking 1,000 naira, not even talk of, you know. I was sharing with somebody. I said I lost 2.8 million naira into crypto last year, and I'm still going back to the market.
And you are still going back to the
I
market.
am going back to the
Well,
market.
on this note, we'll go on a short break. We'll definitely come back to visit that. You are still going back to the
I
market.
am going back to
Well,
the market.
stay glued, because I also know you want to hear more about this. Do not forget the studio lines to call are 0704 700 3969 or 0704 700 2969. Lost over 1 million and then is still going back to the market. Stay glued. We'll be right back.
Hey people, who gets the mic? We do. Where's the vibe?
Youth Arena, shout it out loud. Let 'em hear you. Youth Arena, moving on. Ooh, 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 yeah. Ooh, 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 yeah. Ooh, ooh, ooh,
Moving on.
All right, welcome back to the Youth Arena on Oxygen FM 96.9. Lost over 1 million to crypto.
Almost 3 million. Are you kidding me?
Almost-
2.8.
Almost 3 million.
Yeah.
And you said something, you're still going back.
I'm going back to the market.
I know Damon. Come on, Damon, you have something to say.
Well, if it's crypto, I also had an experience. I lost 70% of my portfolio on something like that. Also, 70% of
My
my
back
portfolio.
comes straight. Which one is 70% of
How much
portfolio?
is 70%?
How
in
much
Naira
are we
Kobo?
talking?
Let's just say it's not that much.
Okay.
It was I think it was close to 200k that time.
200k.
Close to 200k that time. So, but let me not lie, me I stopped.
Okay.
I pull out from the market at that moment.
Me that
because
have entered crypto mentorship. We are going
I
back.
pull out- So, can you say it's a weakness when you pull out from all those risky business like
So,
that?
like I said earlier, I said there's a low risk, there's a mid risk, there's a high risk. It's not a weakness. You see, you need to understand your financial vehicle. There's something called financial vehicle. And I'll give you a very, very simplified and practical example. If we are going from here to Lagos, for example, there's an option to walk. There's an option to use a bicycle. There's an option to maybe use tricycle. There's an option for a car. Oh no, because there's an option for a vehicle. There's difference between a vehicle and a car. So there's an option for a vehicle. There's an option for a car. There's an option for a bus. There's a train option. There's a flight option.
Yes.
So how fast you will hit your financial goal as a person depends on the vehicle that is taking you there. You don't expect someone that will take off maybe at around 8 a.m. in Ibadan to Lagos trekking to get there at the same time someone that will use either a car or a train or flight. The timing matters.
Yes.
The process also matters.
Absolutely.
The experience matters.
True.
So it boils down to your financial vehicle. For someone like me, personal branding brings in money into my personal purse. My corporate brand brings in into my corporate purse. So paying myself from my corporate brand is spooling in money back into my personal purse for savings, investments, and also there's something that is called buying of access into the right rooms. You need the right rooms actually if you want to make money.
The right rooms.
Yeah, you need
How
to
do you mean?
enter the right rooms. Example of the right rooms are you attending events that is in line with where you are going. Looking for financial conferences, looking for business conferences. So it boils down to, I told you last week, I said it boils down to purpose. You understanding purpose first. You knowing what you're wired for first. So when you know that, you can now look at the opportunities around your destiny and begin to know the kind of tools that you already have inbuilt that will help you achieve such financial goal. So what you hear from me is not what you regularly hear from any book or maybe any podcast or anything you will see out there, because you see, this thing is personal. It's just like salvation. It is personal. It is how well you are intentional about it. That is how fast, and then most importantly, the vehicle that is taking you there. So you intentionally opens you up to, the vehicle, and then you help you know the vehicle, and then knowing the vehicle now begins to dictate the pace of your journey to achieving your financial success.
All right. Are you also a crypto lord? Maybe you lost money and then you pull out, or you are still there, or you want to come back. We also want to hear from you.
So funny enough, right? I taught my crypto mentor marketing.
You taught?
I taught my crypto mentor marketing.
You taught your own mentor
marketing.
Yeah.
I taught my crypto. Yeah. I taught him marketing. As a matter of fact, he came all the way from Enugu to Lagos.
Okay.
And he spent about 3 nights. I taught him WhatsApp marketing. I taught him Facebook ads and the likes. So now that is where the difference is between me and him. I'm using all those knowledge for the regular building of business, strategy, this, that. But he took that same skill. I went into the crypto space. And I still had to buy access to his mentorship at 150.
But you taught him.
I taught him marketing. I didn't teach him crypto. So for me to learn this crypto skill now, I have to pay.
Wow.
So his vehicle is different from my vehicle.
True.
My vehicle is business development, business strategy. His vehicle is crypto. So you need to know your financial vehicle. It is very, very important. What is that one thing that helps bring money into your purse?
What is that value there?
That is that what is that one value in the marketplace that brings money to your purse? For some of you can make people laugh. You're a comedian by default. But you see, the inability for you to enter the right rooms where those deliverables, that value is needed, would necessarily deprive you from harnessing the potentials around that value.
Sorry, this right room you're talking about, is it like what of people that are introverted, that don't like moving in, because the way you're talking about like making money is linked with knowing the right people. What of people that don't go out, that don't link up with this set of right people? They are introverted. How did they now come into this financial?
Okay, so like I said, it's an issue of purpose, right? And you see, there is always one thing for everybody. I had she's still on my platform. I have a mentee that all she does is writing, right? So, and when she came, she was like, yada yada yada. I was like, see, you can't only do writing and survive. There are students out there in schools that are looking for who to help write a couple of stuff, their project, do the assignments and everything. So get somebody, we came up with a framework that helped her earn, and she was also on the back end. That is what mentorship would do for you. But very, very importantly, there is, like I said, something for everybody. When you discover yourself and you also understand the value you have, right, as a person, you can also build a skill to master that skill and also master that value. Because you see, some people have value, but they lack the skill set to sell the value. Right? Yes. So when you master the skill set required to sell the value, then you can now eat the marketplace. And eating the marketplace is not saying that, we are alive and expecting people to start buying from you. Deliberate effort. There's a difference between marketing and sales. Like I always tell people, marketing is reaching out to the right people. Sales is bringing the right people to pay you. It's as simple as that. But a lot of people mix these things. When they hear marketing, they believe it's just all about selling. No. Marketing is communicating the value you have to the marketplace. Sales is you exchanging the value for money in the marketplace.
All right, you've heard it from our guest. Do not forget you can also be part of this conversation. And the studio lines to call again are 0704 700 3969 or 0704 700 2969. You can also be part of this conversation. Sir, you said something while we're on break.
I'm with you, sir.
I want our listeners to also hear. Talking about the risk that you took. Yes, I'm going back to it.
Okay, so it's very simple, right? I had a gig on my corporate brand, and then my team came on board. We were to execute for, I think, December 13, 2025. Yeah, and we got payment from a client much more earlier. So I was like, instead of me leaving this money in this bank account and then the bank is just, corporate account, they start eating your money, only the name of charges, something, ledger balance, available balance, that thing always pisses me off. So
we're on the same page.
Yeah, so, and I told my, necessarily, that is what keeps them in business. It's your money that keeps the bank in business, by the way. Right, so I told my account manager, I said, I want to move my money. He said, Madam, I want to move my money. It's my company money. Let's move it. So I moved it to my wallet and, I started trading. I've been educated about what I want to do.
Okay.
So I'd made profit. There was a project I had in mind, right?
Emphasis on the money is meant for a gig.
Yeah. There was project I had in mind.
I just want our listeners to hear that.
Yeah, no, it's
Okay.
normal. So there was a project I had in mind. You see, when you have knowledge, you can take calculated risk.
Calculated risk
Yeah.
with knowledge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you see, there's something called other people's time, other people's money. Banks thrive on other people's money. Entrepreneurs thrive on other people's time. OPM, OPT. That is why an employee needs to invest his or her time to earn wages, salary at the end of the month. And, a bank would necessarily say, save with us, get XYZ. By the way, there is a certain level of commission they get even from CBN with how much they have in their deposit mobilization as a bank.
So they are making money from you saving with them.
Before on call, what do you expect?
Wow.
Isn't the charges that they take from the money saved part of also?
They are
the-
charging you for helping you keep your money because you don't know how to keep your money. If you can keep your money, why are you giving them your money?
It's
True.
It's safer.
safer
Yes.
that you have the money with them.
Yes.
So how do they make their own money then? If they don't take those charges, I'm just asking.
No, they make. Do you know that a bank makes money from a personal account from about, I think, 10 channels?
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, can you just mention a few?
I'll mention 4.
Okay.
They charge you for SMS,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
They charge you for card maintenance. They charge you for transaction fee, 10 naira something kobo, right? They charge you for what else again do they charge for? They
Transaction.
transfer fee, yeah, that's transaction fee. Depending on the kind of account you are using. When I made the
There's
findings,
something they brought, isn't it VAT or levy or
yeah, they will charge you for
electronic
levy,
something,
electronic,
something,
yeah,
15
that 15 naira.
that they charge.
That one goes directly to your government, right? So behind the scene, also, like I said, from your deposit mobilization to they earn money. So when I made, because there was a project, there's a project that we're currently working on now. 3 years behind the scene, we just went live in April, and then we're trying to drive it aggressively across board now, both in Lagos and Oyo State respectively. So I had to understudy that market for 3 good years. Today I know the key industry players. I know those that are good on cards. But back to your question, right? So I had the knowledge,
Okay.
so I could take calculated risk. I'd done mentorship, So what really made me lose the money was carelessness. I was trading. There's a setup on my trading that I can stop loss.
Yes.
I didn't. I was just buying some meme coin and, I was saying, let me just follow this market. If it spikes up to the degree, which I want to, which I need 2x, 3x, then I just sell out and then leave the market. So I was understudying. It was surging up. Then I slept off.
Slept off.
Okay. So
So the rest is history. So now back to business. You see, that is, I always tell people, relationship is key. As a matter of fact, not to brag, that client had to repay me to do that job again.
I don't get that.
Okay.
The person already paid
The person paid earlier, safe.
earlier.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe part payments or complete payments, either of the two.
Okay. So the gig was for us to run PR for an event and then mobilize youth to that event.
Okay.
So she had paid for the number of buses as of that time that were needed and all. So my logistic team, like I mentioned, we've jumped on it. We've done every necessary thing. So it's just for me to disburse to our drivers, put every necessary things in place, ensure that the transportation network is active, all buses are in good shape and all. Right? So she had paid. But one thing happened in the process again. You see, as a business person, you also need to have faith. Like I said, relationship is key. Whatsoever money can give to you, relationship can give you double.
I agree.
Whatsoever you're supposed to use money to buy, having healthy relationship with people can give you double. So, after taking that risk, let me share with you how funny that scenario was. I needed the money on a Saturday morning to execute. I lost the money on a Thursday/Friday morning.
Just wow.
Wow. Just wow.
So, by the books, 1.3 something. By the books. Remember, I lost 2.8.
Yes.
So, my capital was 1.3 something. It's gone. I'm on minus.
Now, you said the person paid again.
Yeah.
I'm looking at how you convince the person to pay.
So, that's the place of relationship and trust. When you are doing business, you must have a track record and have relationship connected to your client. Build a relationship. I got to know the client on referral.
Okay.
So a lot of other relationships are resting on that myself and the client's relationship. And over time, we've always delivered. I was the creative director for that project.
Okay. This will lead me to the other question, which is, how do people get out, or how should people get out of debt without feeling overwhelmed?
All right. So I always tell people businesses are done in fact and figures. What are the facts around your business? If it's a business debt, there are good debt, there are bad debt. Good debt are the ones you either use to make investment or to get something valuable done. While bad debt are the ones you incur to consume. So if you can borrow money now to maybe go to a cinema or to go to a club, but when you go and borrow money to maybe possibly purchase an equipment for your business, you're on the right path.
So if I should borrow money to buy a Ashwebi now, I want to support a friend.
Want to support a friend.
Support
What
family
economic
members.
value is your support?
Should I will support me on my own?
I mean, you remember you said something about relationship.
Yes.
That is not. See, I emphasized on something last week
Yes.
that we should cut emotional spending. That is emotional spending. I supported you for you to support me. Why can't you cock up alone?
True.
COVID has taught us sense. It's just that our people don't really want to have sense. People wedded in COVID that the wedding happened on Zoom. Until date, they are still married.
Yes.
So what are you telling me? To incur a debt because I want to suit
I want to please someone.
or please you. I'm sorry.
All right, let's go on the short break. We'll be right back.
Hey people, who gets the mic? We do. Where's the vibe?
Youth Arena, shout it out loud, let 'em hear you. Youth Arena, moving on. Ooh, 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 yeah. Ooh, 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 yeah. Ooh, 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 ooh.
Thank you for staying tuned to Youth Arena on Oxygen FM 96.9. Damon.
My question is back to that case. That case of that money is a very funny case. So
Yeah.
The money the person gave you,
Yeah.
because you had a relationship with the person.
Yeah.
Yes.
Was it like a gift, or you had to return the money back?
It is for a gig. So how did you return the
Yes.
money back?
So-
What are the steps? What
Yes.
So necessarily when that happened, and I had to bring her to speed on what happened, what I did was
Okay, sorry, you actually told her what
yeah,
happened.
I told her what
you
happened.
told the person what happened. See,
I said we had a good relationship.
these are the vendors we are talking about. Good vendors.
Yes.
They will tell you what.
So
Continue.
I mentioned to her, and she was like, okay. You see, who is your client too matters. Oh. That is why when you're running your business strategy, you need to understand your target audience. Who your ideal customers is matters. There's some, like I said, there are some people that cannot play with 1 naira, 100 naira. So this person in question, I'm bringing in another liability of 1.3 million plus to you on a project you've already sorted me for, and you're still willing to give me a loan. She loaned me that money. As a matter of fact, because the time frame for execution is short, I had a surge of about 170k additional. He loaned me everything, and I spread the payment for a year.
For a year.
Yeah, I'm still paying that.
You're still paying that.
Yeah.
I mean, but it is safe that you told the person what happened.
That
And
is
yes,
the place
you-
of relationship.
Yes.
That is the place of the right client,
clients.
the right target audience. Because you see, when you are transacting, you can be transacting with the right target audience, but you don't have a good relationship with that person.
Then integrity as a person too. as
So
a vendor.
so necessarily, when that happened, things had gone south. It sounds absurd actually, on every business sense, but relationship would not necessarily allow any legal dynamics to play in, because it has gone from I gave him a gig to this is my person. We have done stuffs in time past. I've consulted for a brand like twice. FOC. So I have a track record already, because she already knows my worth, right? She knows my charges. So I built a relationship. I'd made some kind of valuable commitment for her to say no. 1.3 million. I can trust him with it.
You know when you said a track record, I was going to say you have a track record of keeping your words. all right. I know our time is fast spent. I just want to ask these questions coming to couples now.
Yeah.
What do you say about joint accounts?
Yes. There's couples.
Okay.
Okay. When it comes to joint account as a couple, I've answered this from two ways. Because number one, you need to first choose someone that fills your cup as a man and as a woman. You need to also choose someone that supplements your journey. You see, when both of you are coming together, both of you are trusting your destinies in the hands of each other, that if I join my destiny with yours, or I journey with you, I will still achieve every necessary thing I need to achieve in life. But you see, at that point of you guys coming together, marriage always becomes a distraction, right? So now, back to finance and marriage. I always tell people, ensure that finance in your relationship is not parasitic. Can your woman foot abuse without your involvement?
Independence.
As being independent, are you dating a liability or an asset? Does she has the capability of bringing money into your purse? Does she has a value that can, bring money into your purse? What is what economic value is she representing in the marketplace? How much is she contributing to the GDP of a country as a whole, even to the states? So you need to look at these things. How does she handle finance? What is her money personality?
But sir, to be honest, Not everybody will look at those things. Majority of people just go for, oh, I love this person. I
That
love this
is
person.
lack of knowledge. Like I mentioned, you want to date somebody, you want to go into a relationship, you've not read, for example, if you're 20, if you're 30, you need to have read at least 30 books on relationships.
So I also need to read to have a joint account with my spouse.
You see, at the level of you trying to study, you will have a knowledge that recommends to you whether you should have a joint account or not. Because you see, you understand a financial maturity, you would understand if you can trust her with money. There are some people, if you give them money to do something, they won't do what you want them to do. They will do what they need to use money to do. So can she be trusted with money? Because you see, the way the way the society is wired in this part of the world, we need to. Have you ever asked yourself that why is it that when ladies travel out of the country they change? Because necessarily the economy, the society has configured men to be the sole provider. Yeah, right? I know time is fast spent. You see, you can't be you can't provide. I'm not saying that you should not provide for your home as a man, but when it comes to you mixing your finances, you have different beliefs, financial belief system. You have different financial appetite. If at all you guys don't meet or agree when it comes to financial the financial aspect in your marriage, I don't think it is largely I don't think it's advisable because you see one basic thing is that people are change is constant. People can't change.
All right, a quick one. What will be your own ratio when it comes to handling things financially in the family? Should it be 50-50, 70-30, 80-20, 60-40?
I will answer it very, very controversially.
Because of our
Your
time.
wife spending your money is her responsibility. You providing for them is your responsibility.
Your wife spending your money,
Is her responsibility.
and then you
Providing for them is your responsibility.
All right, you edit, and that has been our guest, a global business strategist, a mentor, a public speaker, music minister, the best-selling author. And I'm talking about no other person. I'm talking about Mr. Ojo Ayokunle. Thank you, sir, for joining us on today's conversation on
You're
Youth
welcome.
Arena.
You're
It's always a pleasure having you. Thank you so much, sir. All right, this is how far we can go on today's edition of Youth Arena on Oxygen FM 96.9, where we inform you, inspire you, and of course, ignite you. I want to believe that you've learned one or two things, and of course, we learn, and relearn. And with this edition, I believe that your financial literacy is on another level, because for me, I've learned one or two things, and yes, I have jotted one or two things down, which of course I will use for myself. My own name is SEYIFUNMI AKINSANYA. Do have a wonderful afternoon.
I am Samuel Ademola, aka Damon. Have a nice day.
Bye.